Welcome back to Josh and Kristie Stealing the Internet. I'm Kristie.
And I'm Josh, and today I have some of the sauciest Reddit posts available for you.
Saucy? Ooh.
Am I the asshole for banning my sister-in-law from my house over tomato sauce?
That's what you meant by saucy?
Yeah, what did you think I meant?
Something a little more scandalous.
I, 28 female, have an older brother, 32 male. He is married to sister-in-law, 33 female. I get along with her, except for this one point. If you don't keep an eye on her, she will get into the kitchen and add seasoning to whatever is cooking.
No!
She thinks she is fixing stuff, but not all food needs turmeric in it.
Ugh!
This Saturday, I received 40 pounds of tomatoes. It took me the whole weekend to turn it into a sauce that I was planning to can. I can it plain, then add whatever seasonings and herbs it needs, depending on the recipe.
That makes sense. You want just plain tomatoes in the cans.
Yeah, it's a little more versatile that way.
Yeah.
They came to take a bag of spare clothes for one of their kids, and in the 5 minutes it took me to get it, she managed to get into the kitchen, add salt, pepper, turmeric, olive oil, garlic powder, and Italian herbs to all 5 of the pots that were simmering on the stove.
You don't want all of that in your sauce. Some of those don't go together, in my opinion.
I never add turmeric to anything.
No, I don't even actually know if I know what turmeric tastes like.
Right.
Turmeric?
I'm probably saying it wrong, so don't ask me.
Oh, okay. I always in my head said turmeric, but it might be turmeric.
I've always done turmeric.
Is there an R before the M?
There is.
Wow, you learn something new every day. My brain must have glossed over that letter.
Turmeric.
Turmeric. Okay. I've been saying it wrong. Actually, I don't know if I've ever said it. I've been thinking it wrong.
When I asked her what she was doing, she had the audacity to say, "This sauce needed some taste. I added it for you."
This isn't a sauce. This is canned tomatoes. It's like canned tomato sauce, plain. Not a sauce yet.
It's like I've never told her not to touch what I was cooking before. I was so angry that I knew I couldn't be calm talking with her, so I simply walked to my brother, told him to take the clothes and his wife, and that she is no longer welcome in my house.
And tell her that she owes you a new 40 pounds of tomatoes.
She had followed me, was shocked, started apologizing, but I just ignored her. I added that he should come by tomorrow to take the sauce his wife ruined, because otherwise it would be thrown away, and that I expected 40 pounds of replacement tomatoes.
Okay, good. I'm glad she's like, give me new tomatoes.
They left. He came back with the tomatoes, an apology letter from her, and an apology carrot cake, my fave. But I told him that I stand by my decision. Now my parents got involved since I am the one that usually hosts, and since she is not allowed in my house, I told them to make alternate plans for Memorial Day. My husband says that I am in the right, but my parents say that my reaction is way overblown. So, am I the asshole?
No, not the asshole. You have asked her many, many times to stop throwing random spices in your food to improve it. You don't need her help and you don't want her help, and she's just doing it because she thinks like she's the most magical, best cook ever, and she wants to show off, I feel like.
It's got to be something like that, right? Because sister-in-law isn't even necessarily going to eat this tomato sauce.
She just needs to improve it for everybody else. I can't let them eat your cooking. Your cooking is abysmal.
Yeah, she walked into the kitchen, snuck a taste, and she's like, this just tastes like boiled tomatoes. It needs spice.
You don't even know what it's for. What if she's not making an Italian dish and doesn't want garlic in it? She's making something else.
What if just her dog got sprayed by a skunk and she's prepping something to get the smell off?
Yeah, you don't want to put garlic, turmeric, tomato paste on your dog. By the way, that is not the best way to get rid of skunk smell.
No, I know. It's just that old wives' tale, you know?
Yeah. Now, I do think it is very nice that this time she wrote you an apology letter and sent you a carrot cake and replaced your tomatoes, but too little, too late. I mean, it was not too little maybe, but too late.
Yeah, I don't know how many offenses she has up to this point, right?
It sounds like many, though, because she's like, I've told her repeatedly not to do this.
Yeah. Has there been an apology letter and a carrot cake before?
I don't know. I feel like maybe before you were underreacting every time she did this. So this time when you reacted appropriately, it seemed like overreacting to everybody. And I don't know if I would ban her for life, but I would ban her for a few months. Let her learn a lesson.
Yeah, at least until everyone has a chance to get over it, right? Like, they did do a pretty decent apology, although you did waste, like, a whole day of work.
Yeah, and that's not worth the carrot cake.
Yeah, so you're allowed to be mad, and you're allowed to, like, maybe say, I don't want to see you for a couple months, but maybe not a lifetime ban.
Now, if in a few months you allow her back into your house and she continues this behavior, then ban her for life, because she has not learned anything, and she never will.
Right? Like, she hasn't learned up to this point, despite you telling her before. So I don't know. Maybe this is the final straw.
I would give her one more chance because this time she does seem remorseful. But if she does it again, then it's the final straw.
I also gotta add, she works awfully fast, doesn't she?
Yeah, less than 5 minutes, and she's like, just throw everything in here.
Yeah. She stopped by for 5 minutes and just beelined to your kitchen and ruined the food.
That's why I think she thinks like she's a master chef and everybody should be pleased if she deigns to help them with their meal.
Top comment. WTF, this is so boundary disrespecting, disrespectful, and insulting to what you're cooking. And it wasn't even for her. Not the asshole for being furious. I do think she's learned her lesson, though. OP replied to that. She thinks we don't season enough. But here's the thing. If I'm making Indian or Chinese, I toast the spices and grind them with a mortar and pestle. My Ethiopian friend says that I make spicier food than her mom. But if I'm making mac and cheese, a burger, or mashed potatoes, of course I'm only using salt and pepper because usually the flavors are in the sauce or gravy.
Yeah, I don't want any spices on my mac and cheese. My brother-in-law puts ketchup on his, and I think that is an abomination.
Yeah, if I'm making burgers, don't go and pour turmeric on it.
Yeah, there's certain spices that don't belong on certain types of food.
Not the asshole, garlic is alkaline. That would entirely change the processing time to safely can the tomato sauce. She has no idea that she is messing with the safety of your preserves for the next year. You are entitled to hold to your boundary even after her apology. A cake is a nice gesture, but by no means is it enough to buy your trust back. I didn't even consider that she might have screwed up how cannibal the sauce is.
Yeah, because canning stuff is a science. Like, it's complicated.
Not the asshole. If you decide to allow her back, get baby gates for your kitchen. Put signs on the gates with a picture of your sister-in-law in a red circle with a line drawn through her and put them up when she visits. This is probably too much, but I'd love to see her face when she sees it.
That is petty. I like it, but it is petty.
She messed with your tomato sauce. Petty is maybe the correct response. If you allow her back, buy a hidden nanny cam for your kitchen so when she inevitably can't help herself, you'll have proof to send to your family when they berate you for making the ban permanent. She's also doing this with no idea if anyone has any allergies or sensitivities to whatever she decides to add. She could literally kill someone.
It's just she doesn't even know what this sauce is for. How does she know how it should be spiced?
Yeah, she's making a lot of assumptions while she's adding the spices, isn't she?
So yeah, not the asshole. Sorry you gotta make a whole new batch of tomato sauce, and hopefully your sister-in-law can learn to stay out of the kitchen.
Am I the asshole for reporting a child licking the sauce dispensers at Costco?
Gross! No, report that. They need to be sanitized.
I went to Costco and bought a hot dog for myself and my husband. After waiting in line, I went to the sauce dispensers to get some mustard. I saw a child licking her fingers, eating the sauce off them, and then proceeding to wipe them on the sauce dispensers where the sauce comes out. Repeating the same thing several times with all 3 sauce dispensers.
Okay, I thought she was putting her mouth directly on it.
You just thought she was pumping it right into her mouth?
Yeah, I thought she was like putting her mouth around the nozzle, pumping it into her mouth and sucking it out. I mean, not that this is really sanitarily much better, but it's not as good of a visual.
I decided not to confront the child or say anything to her family to avoid causing drama and embarrassing the child. Instead, I told the staff about the incident. A staff member came out and asked who did it, and I pointed at the child. Probably should have kept quiet, but oh well. The staff member confronted the family, which was a big group with 2 women and their children of various ages. The child who did this was about 6 or 7 years old. I saw her licking everything around her, and even her mother asked her to stop. The family then confronted me, asking why I didn't tell them directly and went straight to the staff.
Well, it doesn't matter. Even if they confronted you directly, they'd still have to go to the staff and get the staff to clean everything and replace the sauces.
Yeah, everything's got to be sanitized either way.
Yeah.
I politely explained that my concern was food safety and that's all, so I wasn't looking to confront anyone. They didn't believe me and said I must hate children, and spent the next few minutes talking over me and not letting me put a word in.
No, I don't hate children. I hate disgusting children with no manners that people aren't watching. Watch your damn kids!
I reiterated that my concern was only food safety and that I don't want other people's saliva in my sauces. The staff member then told me they could easily check the CCTV, which seemed to calm the family down. I'm still frustrated due to the whole incident. I hate arguing with people in public and wonder if I am in the wrong here. Am I the asshole?
Not the asshole. And I get not wanting to confront the family because what are they going to do? They're just going to, get mad at you.
Yeah, right? I feel like if mom is just telling her kid, to stop licking everything instead of actually stopping her kid from licking everything. She's going to be the same type of mom that tells you to mind your own business once you say, hey, can you ask your kid not to lick things?
Yeah, and OP's goal was like not even to correct the child's behavior or like shame the parents for not watching their kid. It was just food safety. I don't want to eat someone else's saliva.
Yeah, and OP actually made a small edit to reinforce that point. Edit just wanted to highlight that I told the staff so they could clean the dispensers. That was the reason. So that is OP's concern, is that kid's saliva is now on all the sauce dispensers.
And I get like when a staff employee comes up to you and is like, who is doing it? Might not think fast enough to be like, does it really matter? I'm not going to tell you. Oh, I don't see them. You know, I'd be like, yeah, it's that kid over there. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
A little bit unsubtle of the staff to walk out into the middle of the room and ask you to point at whoever did it, right?
And then go right over to them and be like, hey, did your kid do this?
Yeah, like try to be a little more subtle, staff member. Ask me over by the counter who did it, and I'll subtly point so I don't have to be the bad guy.
Does the staff member even need to confront this family? Because at this point it's done, and it's not like confronting them is going to do any good.
I mean, it's a tough one because the kid is licking things in a restaurant, right? They might need to get confronted and possibly kicked, right? If you don't tell the parents to, hey, can you stop having your kid lick things? The kid's going to lick more things.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. The kid might have gone back for seconds on the sauces, and then you'd have to re-sanitize everything again.
Yeah, so I don't think the staff wants to confront this family. I think the staff has to confront this family.
I was just hoping the family would get up and leave and that'd be the end of the problem, but...
If they were actively getting up and leaving as a staff member, I might just mutter under my breath and, sanitize everything properly. But it sounds like they were still sitting around, so I don't trust this kid not to cause more chaos. Top comment, not the asshole. The staff needed to know so they could clean the dispensers. It's also not your job to parent that child or to confront the parents. You did the right thing. I'm also curious as to why the parents knew that it was you who reported this. The staff should have handled this very discreetly so that nobody knew who it was that reported their child. That would have saved a confrontation altogether. OP replied, the staff member pointed straight at me when they asked who complained.
Man, that staff member just narking you out like that.
Yeah, that staff member sucks at de-escalating a situation, don't they?
Yeah, I think he wants these people to get in a fight.
It all happened very quickly. The staff member came out from their work area, asked me who did it. I pointed to the child sitting with her family, and pretty much the first thing I heard the family say was, who complained? I didn't even get a chance to sit down. I don't think the family cared about anything else apart from who told the staff.
I don't care if my kid's licking. Who's tattling on my kid?
Somebody replied to that the staff member was also a dumbass, which I think is fair. Family is obviously the assholes in this situation. Staff member also a little bit an asshole for throwing you under the bus.
Yeah, I would not like that if a staff member tattled on me like that. And I was like, I'm just trying to be cleanly and not disgusting and get germs.
OP replied to that dumbass comment. Thinking about it now, I totally agree that the staff member shouldn't have said it was me who complained. I was so stressed and felt like I needed to defend myself because the women all started talking at the same time and going off at me. So not the best handling of the situation from the staff.
I don't even get these ladies. They're like, who told on my kid? Not, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I wasn't watching my child and they got into some mischief.
No, that would be a good parent's reaction.
Yeah, and these are apparently not good parents.
These parents are just wrangling feral children, it sounds like. I'm sorry. Once your kid is licking everything inside of a restaurant, no, I'm going to call them feral.
That seems fair, like little raccoons.
So OP also says in another comment thread, I heard the child's mom say to the staff member that children need to explore.
No, not with their tongues and slobber.
Bear in mind, earlier she said she didn't believe it happened at all. If your children want to play and explore, use toys or other appropriate items.
Also, 6 or 7 is way too old to be...
Oh, you're right. I know I read 6 or 7. In my head, I was not imagining
You're imagining a toddler, right?
Right.
And yeah, like 2 or 3 years old, yeah, they put their mouth on everything. Can't really stop them.
Yeah, I was not imagining a 6 or 7-year-old at all during this story, even though I read it. That's so much worse.
Like, this kid was tall enough to reach the sauce dispensers unassisted.
Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, consider hitting that subscribe button.
Yeah, we appreciate your support, and we'd really hate for you to miss out on future episodes.
Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for ranch at a pizza place and going across the street to buy a bottle from CVS?
I mean, I don't know. Usually I feel like pizza places do charge extra for extra sauce, right? I feel like that's something you should expect.
Yeah, a lot of pizza places do charge you for the little cups of ranch.
I mean, I totally get not wanting to pay that inflated price for that tiny cup of ranch, but I don't feel like you can go buy ranch somewhere else and bring it back into the restaurant.
So last night, me and my friends went to a pizza shop downtown. We got a couple pizzas, some regular and some gourmet. We didn't know, but every pizza came with a cup of garlic sauce. Well, none of us liked garlic sauce, and we asked if we could get some ranch instead. They wanted $1 per cup, and wouldn't swap the garlic sauce. Keep in mind, these were large pizzas and very hungry college students, and we would have needed about 10 of these little cups of ranch.
Just eat it without ranch then.
We weren't about to pay $10 for ranch dressing, and told the girl who brought out the pizza not to worry about the ranch. The restaurant owner overheard this and made a comment, "Shit isn't free, boys," and that really pissed me off. There was a convenience store across the street, and I decided to get us some ranch. I got up and walked across the street and bought a big bottle of ranch, enough for 5 more pizza outings for $5. Some of my friends said I shouldn't have done that, and the store owner gave me a dirty look. I was told I was petty and tight. I told them I was going to enjoy my cheap ranch, and if it was that big of a personal conviction, keep their hands off it. That personal conviction lasted 30 seconds, and pretty soon after that, the bottle was being passed around the table. Remember, they gave out the garlic sauce and refused to substitute ranch. It was frustrating and strange to say the least. So, am I the asshole for refusing to pay $10 for ranch and going to buy my own bottle instead?
I feel like, yeah, you're the asshole. You can't go buy food and bring it into a restaurant. Most restaurants don't allow that. I think it's like a health, food, and safety issue thing.
Yeah, it's also just kind of a cultural faux pas to be bringing your own stuff into a restaurant.
And I get that they're college students and like, yeah, they don't care as much about faux pas and stuff, but this is not a cool thing to do. And either just don't have ranch with your pizza or like take your pizza and leave the restaurant and go get ranch and eat it somewhere else. I am really surprised that the pizza manager did not kick them out for bringing in outside food.
I wondered about that too. Like, have they been kind of annoying and the pizza manager was just sick of them at this point? Because he did mutter under his breath, "Shit ain't free," which initially made me think the manager is also kind of an asshole for, swearing at customers.
Uh-huh.
But, was that something that he muttered under his breath after they, complained a ton about not being able to make a substitution? That's just me making assumptions, though, so I don't know if that's fair.
Yeah, it's hard because we're only getting one side of the story here, so what really went down? I don't know.
But I think I agree with you. OP's kind of the asshole for just going and getting a bottle of ranch and bringing it into a restaurant. That's weird. Top comment: you're the asshole for eating pizza with ranch dressing. But seriously, you shouldn't bring in outside food or condiments to a restaurant.
Yeah, my nephew loves ranch with his pizza, and I do not understand it. I've never had ranch on pizza, and it doesn't seem like it would go to me.
You're the asshole. Seriously, the $1 per cup of ranch is what's known sometimes as an inconvenience fee. The pizza place doesn't want to serve ranch dressing with the pizza and might only keep a little on hand for salads and a few other items. It might even buy the garlic sauce prepackaged so they don't have a lot of little cups on hand. Bringing in a bottle of outside ranch is tasteless and classless. Either suck up the $1 or buy it to go and enjoy with your own ranch sauce.
Yeah, I think if they really wanted ranch and weren't willing to pay the $1 for those tiny cups and wanted to buy their own ranch, they really needed to take this pizza to go.
My fiance likes ranch with pizza and usually tries to order a side of it. We've been to pizza places that don't offer it at all, and he just eats the pizza without ranch. It's not a hill to die on.
Yeah, that's the other option. Just don't have ranch with your pizza. It's not necessary.
I always feel like the people who put ranch on pizza, you're allowed to eat your food however you want, but does the pizza really need ranch? Ranch is for hiding flavor.
Yeah, ranch is to make disgusting things taste okay. Pizza tastes good on its own.
Maybe that's a hot take on our part as Midwesterners because we're supposed to put ranch on everything.
Yeah, I was I know a lot of people who just love ranch and put it on everything. And I like ranch, but it leaves a yucky taste in your mouth afterwards.
I have to agree with that one comment about it maybe being an inconvenience fee. As a pizza shop owner, I might be a little insulted if somebody's going to take the pizza that I put effort into and just pour ranch all over it like I didn't do a good enough job.
Yeah, it's like those people who season their food before they even taste it.
Am I the asshole for buying my girlfriend a blender instead of the necklace she wanted for our anniversary?
Ooh, this is a no-no. My dad learned long ago, you do not buy your wife or girlfriend anything that plugs in unless they specifically ask for it. That was a hard rule in my family.
That is a rule that a lot of people either have to learn the hard way or by watching someone else learn it the hard way. Before I start, I'd like to say that my girlfriend and I are both women. I say this to hopefully preempt the typical man comments. I'm going to give you a spoiler to the comments. It did not prevent the comments.
Oh, no.
This happened last month, but my best friend and her friends are still giving me shit about it. We had our 1-year anniversary. I asked what she wanted, and she told me just something romantic, a little necklace or something cute. While browsing around on Amazon, I found an emulsion blender and it pinged in my head. My girlfriend loves cooking and always talks about all the gadgets she wants. Plus, she made homemade tomato sauce, and I remember her complaining how hard it was to make the sauce smooth, because she didn't have an emulsion blender. I'm a very practical gift giver, and I like to give things people will use, so I bought it, and was super excited to give it to her.
This is a little too practical. She said something romantic. While this is something she may like and enjoy and use, it is not romantic.
Yeah, and this isn't even a birthday or Christmas present, it's an anniversary gift.
Yes, the gift-giving holiday you're supposed to be most romantic.
The day rolls around and she gives me a bottle of whiskey I've had my eye on for ages, but could never justify the cost. I was so hyped and encouraged my girlfriend to open hers. She opened it and her face kind of falls and she goes, "Oh, an emulsion blender?" And I told her I remembered her talking about all the kitchen gadgets she wanted and was so excited to give it to her. She kept her cool but told me while she appreciated the thought, she was just a little upset that it wasn't jewelry. I was confused, so she explained that she felt anniversaries should be more about romantic, sentimental gifts versus practical. That she appreciated it greatly, but couldn't lie to me that she wished it had been the necklace she pointed out to me online.
She gave you not even just hints, I'd like something romantic like jewelry. She pointed out a specific necklace and you still went and got her something else?
It was nothing fancy, a $30 mushroom necklace. I shared my woes with my friend, and my friend thought it was hilarious that I was so inept, and that he understood why my girlfriend was upset with her gift. Girlfriend's best friend also got wind of the situation, and has been ribbing me with telling my girlfriend to get back to the kitchen jokes. My girlfriend and I are fine, but I know she was disappointed, and she ended up buying the necklace herself a week after I gave her the blender.
You didn't go back and buy the necklace for her after she expressed her disappointment?
So, am I the asshole for giving my girlfriend a practical gift versus the necklace she wanted?
Yes! I'm so ashamed that another woman is this inept at gift giving.
It's kind of rude of you to assume that men are bad at gift giving.
And not all of them. You're pretty good at gift giving. But when you hear about someone being really bad at gift giving, it is almost always a man.
It is the stereotype, isn't it?
But no, you are definitely the asshole. You messed up and you didn't even try and fix it and get her to the necklace.
Yeah, it wasn't like a super expensive necklace or anything. It probably cost less than the emulsion blender.
Yeah, and your girlfriend had to get it for herself as a little treat. That is super disappointing.
Like, a bottle of whiskey has a very large price range, so it's really hard for me to judge how much she spent on you versus how much you spent on her. But you did specify it was a bottle of whiskey that you couldn't justify the price of.
Yeah, so it was a splurge.
The bottle of whiskey might have cost more than the emulsion blender and the necklace combined. I don't know. You can get her two things if you really want to give her the blender as well.
I feel like you cannot give anything that can be used for household chores as a gift, like cooking or cleaning, unless it is specifically asked for that occasion, or like if they're like super into baking and that's their hobby and that's what they do for fun.
If they're just the type of person that wants kitchen equipment for every single holiday, yeah, go for it. Get her the blender. Otherwise, you're probably just walking into a pitfall. Top comment, you're the asshole. So I get you're a lesbian, but wow, this is like TV sitcom man action. You might as well have bought her a bowling ball with your name on it.
Make me delicious sauces that are smooth and creamy, please.
Another comment, but honey, you said you wanted a new vacuum.
That's what my dad got in trouble for. I think it was a vacuum.
That is a typical husband trap right there, the new vacuum.
I don't actually remember. I feel like I was pretty young, but mom brought it up for years that she got a bad gift. And dad learned, do not buy anything that plugs in.
No, don't get her anything that's for housework, and don't get her exercise equipment.
Oh no, that's a no-no too.
Her girlfriend literally told her she wanted something romantic. And OP is over here like, no, you don't. You want a blender.
I feel like the only thing less romantic than a blender is a vacuum.
Yeah, the symbolism of a blender is only destruction, isn't it?
That's a good point.
There's not a lot of thought process. There's like, you said tomato sauce was hard to make one time, so here's something that can destroy tomatoes. I feel like the most important piece of info to determine if OP is an asshole or not is that the girlfriend went and bought the necklace herself a week later.
She gave you a week to rectify it and buy it yourself for her.
You're not really the asshole for blatantly and willfully ignoring a direct suggestion for a gift. Sometimes people read the room wrong or whatever and miss the mark. You're the asshole, OP, because you didn't fix your mistake and instead acted in a way that reaffirmed that you think you didn't even make one, while going about your life as though everything is fine. I'm almost certain that everything is in fact not fine, because it seems like your girlfriend gave you a week to come to your senses, but you were too obtuse to even see it. I sense a sort of attitude of, well, I know it's not what she wanted, but I still got her something, so that's what matters. No, it's not, OP.
Yeah, your girlfriend is still mad at you about this. Even if she tells you she's not, she is.
Holy crap, she told you what she wanted, what would make her happy, and you chose to ignore it thinking you knew better. This is beyond clueless and moving towards arrogant. Yeah, 100% you're the asshole. Which is Reddit's overall opinion. You're the asshole. Don't ignore what your girlfriend wants for a holiday and get her a better gift. Am I the asshole for not letting my sister's boyfriend use hot sauce?
I don't know why you would be policing anyone else's hot sauce use, but go ahead, lay it on me.
Every Sunday, my family rotates who makes dinner. One time it's my wife and I, the next time it's my sister and her boyfriend, the next my mom and dad, and then finally my grandmother. With our busy lives, this day is important to us because besides holidays, we wouldn't be able to meet up and chat or eat without it. We come from an Italian family but are in Canada. My mom was born there in Italy. I was born here in Canada. I take my food very seriously, especially Italian food, and double especially because my Nonna is eating with us. I spent all day preparing dinner, and when we sat down to eat, my sister's boyfriend is hemming and hawing, saying my meal is missing something. He said he needs hot sauce and starts walking to my fridge. All I have is Frank's and sriracha. I like hot sauce too, but I don't dare mix cuisines like that.
Hot sauce doesn't go with Italian food. You put that on like Mexican food.
I mean, some people put like red pepper flakes and stuff in their Italian.
Yeah, but I feel like that is different from hot sauce.
What about like a Tabasco sauce? I've seen that on like pizza.
I don't like hot sauce, so maybe I'm not the best judge for this because I don't think hot sauce should go on anything.
So I stopped him, saying I'd appreciate it if he enjoyed my meal as it is. He said it's no big deal, and in a way it isn't, but also in many ways it is. I told him at the very least I have some Calabrian chili oil he can use, or dried chili flakes. Then it would at least still be Italian. He insisted on sriracha, and I declined him. He escalated it and said he was going to go to the store and buy his own bottle and return if that's the case, and I said by all means. He left, we finished up dinner, and we called it an early night. Everyone is putting their coats and shoes on as he returns, and he's pissed. My sister is on my side if it matters, but this has been a fight all day yesterday between them, because he wants my sister on his side, not mine. They've been dating only 3 months. Was I the asshole?
Yes, you were the asshole and not a very good host. I would get being offended if like he didn't even taste your food before deciding it needed hot sauce, but he tried it and was like, it needs something. And as a picky eater myself, I get having strong food preferences. I don't feel like asking for extra condiments is really that rude, but as a host, denying someone extra condiments is really rude.
So OP does have an edit that kind of gives more info real quick.
Okay.
Edit, if it matters, I made carbonara, bruschetta, and then for mains, which he didn't get to yet, was a seafood platter and red sauce. My wife and I are 34, 35 respectively. My sister and boyfriend are 23, 22 respectively. So he apparently hasn't tasted the main dish yet.
Okay, that changes it a little bit. I'd be like, can you just try it without the hot sauce first? See how you like my cooking?
Yeah, because that switches me over to everyone sucks here.
Yes.
Because I don't like a condiment police. But also, try the food first.
I feel like as a guest, it is rude to assume that the food is going to be bad and needs doctored up.
Yeah, don't just go pouring random stuff into something you haven't tasted. It's very insulting to whoever cooked it.
So the boyfriend is rude for requesting hot sauce without tasting the main dish. But I still feel like OP is the asshole for refusing to give them hot sauce. What does it actually affect you if this guy eats hot sauce on his dinner?
Yeah, the only explanation OP gave was her grandma's there and might judge him in Italian, and that she doesn't like him mixing genres of food, right? She doesn't want him to put sriracha on Italian food. People that like sriracha put it on literally everything.
Yeah, I think that's gross, but I mean, if someone else likes it, I mean, whatever makes them happy.
Top comment, everyone sucks here. Policing how someone likes their food is a bad look. My husband likes ketchup on his scrambled eggs. I think he must have a demon whispering lies into his ear. But that's his right to let the demon lead him astray. I like hot sauce too, but I don't dare mix cuisines like that. You say this like you think you'll also invite a demon into your home. Chill, it's hot sauce. However, I feel like the boyfriend's comment, something is missing, is pretty rude on his part. All I'd have to say is that he prefers his food spicy. Critiquing the meal was uncalled for. I'm also pretty baffled by his insisting on going to the store to purchase hot sauce. That's just absurd. You'd think if hot sauce was such a priority, he'd keep it in his back pocket or something. Honestly, you both sound exhausting and I feel bad for your sister.
Yeah, that was something else I wanted to bring up. Going to the store to get hot sauce, leaving in the middle of dinner with your girlfriend's family to go get hot sauce. That is so weird.
They've been dating for 3 months.
You're still in the phase of trying to make a really good impression.
And you got up and missed the entire dinner with her whole family because you needed hot sauce?
Yeah, and if you need hot sauce that bad, keep it with you. I have a friend and their wife is like so obsessed with hot sauce that they keep a bottle of sriracha in their purse.
Do you really?
Yes, and I can't remember who it is, but I remember it.
That's hilarious.
Because I thought it was weird.
I have not seen any of our friends just pull a bottle of sauce out of their purse, but I could see a couple of our friends being the culprit.
It was more of just an acquaintance, but this lady was obsessed with hot sauce. So, like, these people exist.
Enough people argued with top comment that they had to edit their top comment.
Uh-huh.
Y'all, I'm well aware that ketchup on eggs is common. I just think it's evidence of demons on earth and that God has forsaken us all. And yet, I'd still offer ketchup to my guest, since I don't discuss religion at the breakfast table.
That is too early in the morning to discuss religion.
I have a friend who puts hot sauce on everything. Ramen noodles, bagels, the occasional ice cream, you name it. Is it weird? Hell yes. Do I make fun of her? Also yes. Do I gatekeep her from putting the hot sauce on food I make? No, because I can't tell her what she can and cannot put on her food. You're the asshole for policing what he can and cannot put on his food, even if you made it. He's the asshole for saying something is missing and up and leaving to get his own hot sauce when you denied him yours. Everyone sucks here. I don't think you can get upset at someone for being unreasonable after you are already being unreasonable. Yes, it's insane to get up in the middle of a meal to go to the store, buy hot sauce, and come back. If she had no hot sauce or no sriracha, at that point he would be petty. But she is literally denying him a condiment on moral purity grounds based on what foods go with what. My sister dips her fries in freaking milkshakes. I would never tell her she can't, even though I find the idea literally revolting, like dipping a lollipop in a jar of mayo.
No, that's so good. Not the lollipop and the mayo. That sounds disgusting. But the fries and the milkshake. Fries and a Wendy's Frosty is the best thing ever.
The comments have a lot of discussion of food combos, and underneath every single one, there's people arguing about whether or not that's acceptable. It's kind of fascinating.
It's a hot topic, and people have strong opinions about it.
I'm English and made shepherd's pie for my Mexican husband. He immediately put spicy salsa on top.
No, that's supposed to be boring and bland.
Bit annoying, but I'm not going to try to stop him.
It's a comfort food. When you add the hot sauce, it is no longer comforting. It is burning.
Am I the asshole for insisting my boyfriend eat respectfully at a nice restaurant?
Wow, how atrocious are his manners?
My boyfriend, 20 male, and I, 20 female, have been dating for 7 months. We usually eat takeout if we want to get something to eat. However, I was recently promoted, so we went to eat at a very nice Italian restaurant to celebrate. Like, one with an enforced dress code.
Oh, so not Olive Garden. Okay.
My boyfriend is not the nicest of eaters, which can be kind of gross, but I deal with it. However, I didn't realize he had no table manners. At the restaurant, after we were served our first appetizer, a beautifully plated bruschetta dish, he looked at me and jokingly asked me if I would be upset if he enjoyed his meal the same way he would at home.
Yes, I would. This is a restaurant in public. Act like a decent human being.
I told him that we were in a nice restaurant and there were other customers around. He didn't say anything, but instead started digging into the bruschetta with his hands, ignoring the serving fork, getting sauce all over his fingers. I let this go. However, when the pasta came out, he smirked at me and ate like he hadn't eaten in a week.
He's just doing this on purpose.
The smirk is very telling, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and he asked, would you be upset if I ate like a pig? And she's like, yes, I would. And he's like, haha, I'm going to do it.
Because I could forgive the bruschetta, because that is often a finger food. Generally, at a nice restaurant that has like a dress code, you're supposed to use a knife and fork on bruschetta. But in casual dining, it's very much a finger food. He dropped his fork and started picking up pieces of chicken and noodles with his fingers, getting sauce everywhere. The tablecloth, his hands, his clothes, and his face.
Okay, at this point, it is definitely on purpose. It is definitely just to be disrespectful and definitely just to embarrass you.
He didn't miss the opportunity to loudly burp after he had finished destroying his side of the table. The table next to us was astonished. My waiter even asked him if he was okay. Other customers were staring. He also put his feet up on the chair next to us, blocking the aisle.
Whoa, okay. I would have left long before this. I would have just gotten up and left the restaurant.
I'm amazed the waiter only asked if he was okay and didn't say you need to leave.
This place has a dress code and they're allowing this behavior to occur?
I had no idea what to do. I didn't want to make even more of a scene, so I just asked for the check, which I paid, and left really embarrassed. On the way home, I told him how embarrassed I was, and he just said that it was my fault for not letting him enjoy the meal as he pleased, and that since we were paying customers, the other guests had no business judging us. Am I the asshole?
Wow, your boyfriend is an entitled asshole and you should break up with him. He has no respect for you or anyone else in the world.
Yeah, he was absolutely being petty because you asked him to eat politely. He said, "Can I enjoy this like I am at home?" And you said no, so he went even further and started picking up pasta with his hands.
Who does that? It's slippery.
Top comment, not the asshole. He smirked at you. He smirked at you. Dude knows exactly what he was doing and took pleasure in publicly embarrassing you.
Yes, he was taking pleasure in publicly embarrassing you, and I don't think I could be with someone who thought that that was funny.
Yeah, you've only been dating for 7 months. It sounds like a big red flag has been revealed.
Is a big red pasta-covered tablecloth.
Not the asshole, your boyfriend behaved like a toddler. The fact that he smirked before doing it suggested he knew exactly what he was doing and that he was trying to embarrass you. Somebody replied to that, toddlers can and do use utensils. He's maybe doing a little worse than a toddler.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with him.
Not the asshole. This isn't like he used the wrong fork or made a bit of a mess failing with oysters or lobster. He was intentionally being disgusting because he wanted to make a statement. I'm too cool for a fancy restaurant. So Reddit agrees OP is not the asshole and that she should really be rethinking this relationship.
Yeah, ditch that toddler man, baby.
Am I the asshole for serving fake meat and pretending it was real?
Yes, I mean, I will eat vegetarian fake meat, but you gotta tell me ahead of time. It's not cool to feed people stuff that they don't know what it is.
My 2 daughters are vegetarian, but my husband and son are not. I'm probably what they would call a flexitarian. My son and husband always turn up their noses at tofu or any other meat alternatives. They say it's just weird that it's made to resemble real meat. So it's really the concept and not the taste.
My issue is usually the texture is off, but if I go into it knowing it's vegetarian and to expect a different texture, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't have to have meat in every dish. Just tell me beforehand what I'm eating. And also, tofu is not made to resemble meat. Tofu is just tofu. It's a popular meat substitute.
But it's not meat and it's not pretending to be.
There are no allergies. My family and I often make 2 versions of dinner, 1 meat and 1 vegetarian, and twice the amount of pots and pans. There is an equal distribution of cleaning and cooking in this house, thankfully. My daughter had a fun prank idea of making 2 pots of spaghetti sauce, under the pretense that one contained meat. They were both the soy ground beef. The goal here was to see if their brother and father actually hated the meat substitute, and to see if we could maybe save some dishes and time in the future. Everyone loved the dinner. Both husband and son finished their plates. This was when my youngest couldn't hold it in anymore and told them. They both got very upset about being fed something other than what they were told. Reddit, am I the asshole?
Soft, you're the asshole. I do not think it is cool to feed people stuff that they don't know what it is. But brother and husband were being very condescending about vegetarian food. And sometimes you gotta prove a point. Like, you can't tell the difference and let me prove it to you.
I agree. Don't lie to people about what you're feeding them. But also, husband and son are being kind of babies about vegetarian food. This is borderline like hiding vegetables in your kid's food. Literally, one of them is your kid.
That's true. And you know their allergies. You know that they do not have allergies to any of these foods. You know that they do not have a like moral objection to these foods, because I was going to say, if you flipped the script and like snuck meat into a vegetarian person's food, that is an asshole move, because that person has moral objections to meat.
Yeah, we know they don't have moral objections to vegetables because they're eating a tomato sauce, right?
Yeah, so I feel like sneaking some soy product into their vegetable sauce is not that bad.
It's asshole behavior, but it's not like criminal asshole behavior.
And it's almost justified asshole behavior because they're being assholes about how gross vegetarian food is.
One of the top comments, I think it would have been better if you made a bet with them beforehand to try and see which one is real meat. This way you would have had their consent. Then you could have made both non-meat and been like, haha, it's a prank. But yeah, they also just seem insecure they weren't able to tell the difference and reacted immaturely. People react badly when they are forced to confront the idea they were wrong.
That is a very good point, that people react badly when forced to confront that they're wrong. They were going to react badly. Like, there was no question about that.
But I do like the idea of getting their consent beforehand.
Yes, that was a very good idea, and I like that. That would have been so much better.
Yeah, because then both pots are still vegetarian.
And you prove your point, but they know what's going on.
Everyone sucks here. Your son and husband are being ridiculous, but you should never mess with people's food. Besides, when was the last time doing a gotcha had a positive outcome?
Yeah, I'm afraid you really have not changed their minds the way you think you have.
So Reddit's overall opinion is OP's the asshole, mostly because they say don't mess with people's food without telling them. Which I can kind of see their point. It's kind of asshole behavior to trick people into eating things.
Yeah, that's really not something you should lie about.
But a lot of the comments are comparing this to what if husband and son fed meat to your vegetarian daughter, which I don't think is a fair argument at all.
Yeah, it's really not the same thing.
Am I the asshole for giving my coworker an allergic reaction?
It sounds like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Don't do that.
I'm at a loss here, guys. Realistically, I know I'm in the clear. Legally, I'm in the clear. But I'm being vilified by my coworkers, and I'm genuinely considering quitting my job because of this mess. So, I work a pretty standard day job, and at night I help my friend at her restaurant, which serves an assortment of Thai cuisine. To be honest, I'm insanely picky, but I fell in love with this peanut sauce the main chef makes, and he showed me how to make it, so about once a week I take it on either noodles or stir-fry to my day job for lunch. People know this, and a handful have tried it. It smells nutty, it tastes nutty, it's white girl pad Thai, basically. Lately my lunches have been disappearing, or I'll open my lunchbox to find half my food missing. I've tried addressing it, but nothing has been changing. And I was pretty sure it was one of the new hires that was doing it, but had no proof until now. Thursday, I took my noodles and my entire Tupperware was missing, which hasn't happened before. I'm pissed, but what can I do? A coworker shared her pizza with me, and that was that. Until today, my boss confronted me and accused me of poisoning my noodles because his daughter, one of the new hires, borrowed my lunch and had to be hospitalized. Turns out she's severely allergic to nuts, ate some, and boom, anaphylaxis. She used an EpiPen, had to be hospitalized, and now her dad is trying to hold me accountable for her bills and condition. But I don't see it. Why should I pay? I don't mark my food as an allergen because I'm not allergic to it. She was just dumb enough to steal from me and eat something she can't have. But he's being hateful, and some of my older coworkers are icing me out because I warned him I'd report any harassment to HR if he tried anything funny. Brown nosers, I guess. My friend is aware and offered me a full-time job, but I just can't help but feel it's unfair. At the same time, I could have killed his daughter though, so am I the asshole?
Not the asshole. As soon as you said your lunches were disappearing, I was like, not the asshole. This coworker, the boss's daughter, is the dumbest person I've ever met. If you have an allergy that can send you into anaphylactic shock, you do not go around eating food if you are not 100% sure what is in it. Don't go stealing people's lunches at random and eating it.
Just taking random Tupperware out of the work fridge and assuming it won't have peanuts?
Peanuts are so common in food. You can't do that.
And OP even added in that the food smells like peanuts.
But I guess if you don't eat peanuts, you may not know what they smell like.
Oh, that's possible if she has like a very peanut-free house, right? Apparently, it's not a bad enough allergy that they had to like make an announcement for accommodations about how we can't have like peanut in the air.
Yeah, it's not that bad. She just has to ingest it to get the allergic reaction.
So there is an edit and an update.
Okay.
I did email the HR rep and let her know of the situation. She's been on vacation and gets back tomorrow, so I don't know if she's aware of what's been going on since last week. I should note that I work weekends most weeks. Not quite an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday job, but yeah. My coworkers mostly chilled out by the end of my shift. Thankfully, after I explained to the nosiest friendly person that I always bring a peanut sauce dish, my coworkers mostly chilled out by the end of my shift. I guess the general assumption was that I somehow found out who had been stealing lunches and decided to poison them.
And if that was the case, yes, you're the asshole. That is a big asshole move, no.
Yeah, that is beyond asshole and into crime.
That is attempted murder. We do not do that. Anaphylactic shock is serious.
To answer a common question, this was the first time my pad thai was stolen, and no, I'm not the only victim of lunch theft. I usually take a late lunch, and I'm not the only one, so I'm guessing the lady who was stealing food decided what was left is a free-for-all. My boss said it was an HR issue when I tried talking to him about lunches disappearing, and HR always said they'd look into it, or further into it, and nothing ever happened. We're 100% not allowed to eat at our desks, unless you have a medical reason for it, so that wasn't an option either. I'm assuming she's fine, but I don't know the severity of her reaction or how much she ate before she had her reaction. I'm not privy to her medical information, sorry guys. Suing sounds like a great revenge, but probably not worth the cost of a lawyer. My friend let me take tonight off to just bitch about everything, and I'm probably going to take her job offer. One commenter was right. Even if everything settles down, I don't want to deal with a potentially hostile or reactive workplace like this anymore. It's not a career with much room for upward mobility, and I didn't feel welcome in our group meeting today.
Yeah, it is really unfortunate that their boss is holding this against them because, what do you do at that point? There's nothing you can do. Even if you go to HR and HR, resolves it, your boss is still going to, not like you.
Yeah, it being your direct report makes it a big problem. Anyways, I'll keep reading comments and responding occasionally, but this is it for me unless I get something worth updating. But that was the final update other than an edit to add the peanut sauce recipe.
Oh, that was very nice of them since it's apparently such a good peanut sauce.
It's to die for.
Literally.
Was that joke in poor taste?
Probably.
One of the top comments. Not the asshole, you didn't feed it to her, she stole it. You wouldn't have been hurting her, she hurt herself. My wife had a heavy-duty seafood allergy. She wouldn't eat anything without knowing what was in it. Like Caesar salad dressing has anchovies in it. Other sauces are made with seafood too. It can be in places you wouldn't expect. So she would never take someone else's food, on principle first because it's stealing, because it would also be life-threatening. I would have thought that anyone with a severe food allergy would take the same precautions, but obviously not. Well, next time she'll think twice before borrowing someone else's food.
Right? I feel like this girl was very dumb or does not value her life.
It really is a bit of a damn the consequences attitude, isn't it? Absolutely 100% not the asshole. Borrowed? And how exactly is she going to return this food that she borrowed after ingesting it? It's not borrowing when she was never planning on returning it or compensating you. I'm so sorry that your boss is terrible.
Yeah, she thought she could get away with this because the boss is her dad. She didn't think about the other consequences.
She stole your food. She didn't ask. She just took it upon herself to take your lunch. She is the asshole. I would also add that if HR is not going to do anything, get the police involved. You know who stole it.
Do the police get involved if something stolen is under a certain monetary value?
I mean, it's still petty theft, but I guess it depends on the police department and how busy they are.
If you called for that in Detroit, they'd be like, we got bigger fish to fry. We are not coming out for that.
I mean, they might. If somebody's shoplifting at a convenience store, that's the same level of theft.
But I feel like the police would think this is a matter for HR at your business.
Yeah, but HR is not handling it. HR is there to try to keep things from escalating to this level, but if HR is not going to do their job, you might have to take it into your own hands and make a report. But, like OP said, they're probably better off taking that other job. This sounds like a bad place to work.
Well, that's our last story for this episode of Josh and Kristie Stealing the Internet.
Thanks for watching, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.